Or listening to the preacher's words, sis was crying. She alone held the secret about his dying. Tears falling to earth and maybe her fault. He was so trusting.
All right. Welcome again, brothers and sisters, to the air and a message to the black man. I'm your host, Brother Shabazz. Yes, sir, some good old Gia Herman. Man, that's deep. That's a nice song that brother put together called Angel Dust. And without further ado, brothers and sisters, we're going to get right on with our program this morning. All praise is due to the one God, Allah, Master Farad Muhammad. We thank him for raising up Moses in the person of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we thank old Moses for giving the name Muhammad to one like unto himself, the prophet like Moses, the honorable Silas Muhammad. And we thank the honorable Silas Muhammad. Courage under fire. Going back to Chicago on that fateful day, August 21st, 1977, to deal with Wallace and his spirit God Allah that he reintroduced to our people. We thank the honorable Silas Muhammad for going to the UN on our behalf, getting us recognized through the name Afrodescendant for the first time. Now, the first time out of 400 years of slavery, a political name was chosen by ex-slaves descendants themselves in the United Nations. This is very, very serious because the Caucasian race had nothing to do with the name Afro-descendant, nor did the white liberals, nobody. This came from your brothers and sisters throughout the slavery diaspora with this name, Afro-descendant. And we thank them. We thank the Honorable Silas Muhammad. We thank Queen Mashaka Muhammad for assisting him and getting him in the United Nations so that he could speak to the international body about our problems here. And he, Silas, brought together 19 nations representing 250 million of lost souls of Abraham's seed. We are Abraham's seed of the book through the first son, Ishmael. And we thank the Honorable Silas Muhammad for spending 17 years there, him and his wife and the entourage, 17 years at the UN. No other person have done that. Nobody has done that. Go back and look into the history of all our brothers and sisters who went to the UN, but they did not stay 17 years, nor did they get a name for you because they were just talking about our conditions. But we need a political name, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. I give great honor to the 24 black Islamic scientists, and especially the 12 major black Islamic scientists who control this earth until the coming of the one God, Allah, Master Farad Muhammad, that son of man. And brothers and sisters, this morning we have a great program. I have a guest going to be coming on, and he's going to be speaking to you all this morning. And what's going to take place here this morning is, let me tell you who the guest is. Let me introduce you to the guest. He's not, he's familiar with the program. He's been on the program 2 or 3 times, but it's been a while since he's been on the program. And I'm talking about Minister Talib Salim of Cleveland, Ohio, and he is the finance minister for the Afro-descendant nation under the leadership of the Honorable Silas Muhammad. And I'm going to bring him on very shortly and give him enough time to speak to you all because he has information he likes to share with you all this morning. Now, my co-host this morning, Minister Shakur, is not here. He on his anniversary, and I'm sitting there for him this morning. Also with Minister Talib, going to be sitting in for him this morning. But brothers and sisters, we have a great program set for you this morning, and I'm going to bring on Brother very, very shortly here. But one thing I want to say before I bring on Brother Minister from Cleveland, and this is about the shutdown. And I look at the Democrat Party. I'm talking about the shutdown now. Now, according to the data and Mike Johnson and John Thune and President Trump himself, they want $1 trillion now to help set up things for the illegals. That's what's inside of that bill now. I think $1.5 trillion. Now, here's the Democratic Party talking about how much they love black people, right? Come on now, I'm going to get into it too much. I'm going to bring on brother. I just want to touch on it. Because here is Chuck Schumer Hakeem Jeffries, who's a black man, okay? You got the Congressional Black Caucus and all of them, they whining and screaming about the shutdown, but there's billions and billions of dollars in there for illegals. Then what about us? So I look at the No Kings March yesterday. They had yesterday. Okay? But these same white folks now who want you to get involved with the No Kings March, but they won't march for reparations for black people. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I look at right now. The hypocrisy of the Democrat Party. That they don't want to support reparations for Afro-descendants as they support all of these rights, all of these incentives that they want to give to the illegals and everybody else. But here you are now, Afro-descendants. You left out of the pot. You get nothing. You've been voting for them since 1965. 60 years now. You've been voting for them. And you still haven't received anything. So I just want to touch on that. Because there's a lot I got to say about that, but I want to get into that because I got to bring on my guest speaker here. And is he on, sister? Okay. You on, Brother Minister?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. Okay, so what I'm going to do, brothers and sisters, this morning, I'm going to turn this mic over to Brother Minister Talib Salim. He's a minister for the Honorable Silas Muhammad in the state and city of Cleveland, Ohio. And he is the finance minister for the Afro-Descendant Nation. And he has a lot of information he'd like to share with you all this morning. And I'm going to turn this mic over to him. He can reintroduce himself, and he can get into his topic concerning the observation of the nation. So I'm going to turn this mic over to you, Brother Minister. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. First of all, let me say that I appreciate that you have welcomed me back to speak to your listening audience. Certainly the message that the Honorable Silas Muhammad has for our people is a very powerful and important message for us today. And it is my hope that with more of our talk, people representing what he is doing in this day and time, that this will help to enlighten our people and get them to understand and realize the path, the right path to our liberation and salvation as a people. And having said that, I'm going to proceed here. Again, as my brother said, the title of this article that I have that I would like to present to you is Observation of a Nation. While this message is more directed to the Muslim followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I am certain that our whole black family can consume and understand some of this message. In a moment, I would like to paint in the minds of black people a symbolic picture involving the spiritual rise of our nation and ultimately the total liberation of us as a people. It is incumbent upon our elders who have objectively and wisely studied our condition as a people to unite. We must, as I have heard the Honorable Silas Muhammad state some years ago, we got to get our head together, unquote. Surely the youthful and supporting bodies will follow. We are in the symbolic dry bones in the valley in our scriptures that are destined to unite, but there must be a willful and conscious spirit to do so. We have among us two great black men who, if they would embrace in mutual brotherly love and unity, I have no doubt that we can begin to make great strides towards bringing these dry bones, which symbolize black people here in America, together. Historically, it was the drastic and savage violation and destruction of our human rights by Europeans that caused our spiritual and physical enslavement. It is common sense and logical that only the restoration of our human rights, which Silas Muhammad has been the principal guide in this restoration, can our current enslavement begin to end and the basis of reparatory justice begin. Not all Muslim followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad have pursued restoration of our human rights, although the Honorable Elijah Muhammad recommended it. The violation of our human rights has substantially contributed to our current state of disunity, a right that binds us nationally as a people together who are normally inclined to exercise their political and social economic power for their overall well-being. As a small example of what this great power can do and has done for us, we only need to look back at the time of segregation when we had to work together to build and establish our own thriving and prosperous communities, towns, or municipalities, and their social economic systems that were destroyed by American racism. The picture I wish now to paint symbolizes our nation in its birth, growth, and development. We are like a seed that has been converted, or covered rather, by soil. In order for that seed to come forth in life and take root and grow, there are other elements required. The seed must receive the earthly nutrients of the soil, hydrated by the rain or water from condensed clouds, giving way to the life-giving rays of the sun. Let that picture manifest in your mind for a moment. In the true history of Elijah Muhammad, page 256 to 257, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad states, "Today, all fancies, or what he refers to as guessing regarding understanding of our scriptures or God's prophetic word, are removed, and the light of truth must shine so clear that you cannot claim that there was a cloud between you and it." This is the little boy that's talking to you now. There's nobody coming behind me but God. I'd better tell you that, unquote. I want you to remember this statement about the little boy because it's going to come into play later on in my presentation. Also, in the Theology of Time, Secretariat's Memph's version, page 158, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad makes a similar statement. Today, all imagination is removed, and the light of truth must shine so clear, you cannot claim that there was a cloud between you and it. Muslims during the time of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was among us. The removal of the cloud most likely was perceived as being generally directed at our people and not the Muslims, because we believed that we had the truth. And no cloud stood between us and the truth, as long as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was among us. Well, Muslims and black people in general, can we truthfully claim today that there is no cloud between us and the truth, when truth and righteousness is the mortar for our unity to effectively solve all of our problems. There is an age-old adage among Muslims that the FOI should be so close that even air can't get between us. If that was the reality at that time, what has happened that we have so quickly lost that degree of unifying spirit? Have we become so tainted and spoiled by the lingering effects of slavery that we cannot manifest the necessity of our unity? Will it take a strong, abusive hand of Pharaoh, white America, to force us to unite and begin our process of separation from America for the overall good of ourselves and black people in America? What light of truth has Captain Ibrahim Traoré and his people in Burkina Faso received, which has caused them to be so strong and resolute in their unity and cast out our common enemy that we have yet to fail to unite and separate ourselves from our 470-year-old slave master? The coming of mass fraud Muhammad and the 40-plus years of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad well equipped us to know the devil and his ultimate plan for the demise and destruction of our people. So why can't we now be that unifying example that we know can be and serve as the spark of unifying force for the eternal well-being of our people? I suspect that we all have our personal faults, but should those faults be in opposition to Master Prophet Muhammad's divine will for the salvation of our people? Obviously, the answer is no. So what hinders us, gods, from uniting when we know that our unity is essential to our salvation? Among our Muslim leaders, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has reached out numerous times for unity with another Muslim leader among us to manifest this important unity, but he has been denied each time. As followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we have been given a great political and social economic responsibility. For it is this earthly realm where our heavenly or spiritual realm is to be manifested. Not through mere belief. We see the devil have their differences in religious belief, but they still realize the importance of their unity for the political and social economic power, security, and liberty for them as a people. Do we as God have sufficient knowledge that we can do the same as the devil and other original nations of our earth? Or are we practicing hypocrisy? Honorable Elijah Muhammad stated, we should unite. Regardless to your religious belief, unity means power. Throw away your differences and let us all unite. This is a terrible time that you are living in. The world today are baptizing itself in blood. There's no such thing as peace. They can't buy peace. There is no future today for the Western world. I say, and I should unite as one and do something for ourselves. While I admit that he is addressing black people in America in general with this statement, is it possible that this statement is now also applicable to to our divided house and our religious differences right now? Because we stand in the foreground for the unity of our people. We are to serve as the example. We received the truth. We stood up on the truth. We realize the importance of our unity, and it is important for us to be that example of unification if our people are to unite. The messenger states, again, in MEMS, page 267, we know we have to enter politics somewhere, but we don't want the kind of politics which the white man has set up for us. We don't want to follow that way. I am now looking at an example of a clean politics from the nations of Asia and portions of Africa. This type of politics will make you a better man. They don't have robberies and deceitful politics which you are born under here in America way of politics. Here, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the messenger of God we teach, is conveying the importance of setting up a better, separate political system than the thieving and deceitful political system of America. Would not such system require the unity of us and the support of our people and the formation of a central government, which I submit your Muslim brother Silas Muhammad has guided us or some Muslims among us in establishing its formation since May of 1998, and requested the participation of you and our people. He asked many of the black organizations to get involved in this process, but none responded. And since the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has been deceased since 1975, is not this a hint to us, though he sought to find that type of political system? Is this a hint to us that we must set up a governance and political system to serve our well-being? Or for you who think that the messenger is alive, what would we look like to him if he saw us broken up into tribes? In our so-called honor and commitment to him and his sacrificial work, because of our differences and perceptions and understanding of his teachings. Where best should the principles of conduct be employed than with followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? Or do we also have a different understanding of those elementary lessons? Now I will ask Muslims, who is this little boy that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is referring to, who he states is talking to you now, after the cloud has come between us and the truth? Certainly, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is not referring to himself as this little boy. Obviously, as long as he was with us, no cloud of what appears to be some degree of falsehood could form between us and the light of truth. We have historical evidence that after he did his work of delivering the truth for almost 44 years, our nation did fall from the foundation of truth he established. His Muslim followers allowed a cloud to come between us and the truth. Not a few of us allowed this, but the greater masses, like Herod, we gave their approval to spiritually chop off John the Baptist's head. Not the head of Christ. For the divinity of his mighty crown, under which he delivered us the truth. Our nation was no longer headed by the spiritual teachers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Remember, the messenger hinted to us. He said in his 1974 Savior's Day lecture, but you probably didn't hear him. You thought he was just being comical. The messenger could not divulge to you that he was fulfilling the role of John the Baptist, who preceded Jesus, and according to our scripture, even baptized Jesus. But he did clearly tell us, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad did, that he preceded Jesus by clearly informing us in Message to the Black Man, page 127, that the woman in Revelation 12:4 referred to the last apostle of God. And her child, whom she preceded, is his followers and the entire so-called Negro race, who are yet not ready to be delivered. This child of the woman has become a man-child. In Revelation 12:5, who according to God's divine plan was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God and his throne. Is this child one of us or all of us? Has it not been taught to us as Muslims that we will ultimately become rulers over the earth again? Do you see the politics and the intimate relationship it has with our spiritual teachings? If we would just unite. That little boy today, this day, not during the time of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. For again, there was no cloud between Muslims, the light of truth, when he was among us. This little boy is our brother, who too is named Muhammad, anointed with this name by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, is the one who has been talking to you. He has revealed to you that the identity of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad as our Moses, Mary, and John the Baptist of God's divine plan for the salvation of our people. As Moses, the messenger, spiritually liberated our divine minds, or introduced us to the God of our ancestral fathers in our history. And Joshua is prophesied to do his work and deliver us and our people to our promised land. So FOI, if you're not doing any political and legal work in this day and time that completed the restoration of the human rights of our people, the right that the messenger recommended that we pursue, and have some type of political formation to represent the people, as he also taught, then are you trying to do Moses' work again? Can we redo Moses' work? Can you do it exactly the way he did it? Obviously, we cannot redo Moses' work. He did an excellent and complete work. Moses is deceased now. We are now in the time of Aaron and the Muslim leader, who in spirit is most like Moses, Joshua, both of which must unite and gather and unite our people. The Honorable Cyrus Muhammad has submitted a letter to Minister Farrakhan pursuing our unity. We can only wait and see what Minister Farrakhan does. This unity is to ultimately benefit us all, brothers and sisters. So to your listening order, use your great influence to encourage that unity. In closing, I encourage your listening audience, dear Brother Captain, to visit our Afrodescendant.org website and sign up to become an Afro-descendant citizen of the nation and government that represents the restoration of our human rights and government you can call your own. As we continue to fight for reparatory justice or reparations. Also, we would appreciate any donations you can contribute to help us in this cause. As an Afro-descendant, we are equally recognized as a people with all other nations and people of the earth. And we have substantially been involved with and served as a spearhead nationally and internationally for the fight for justice and reparations. And lastly, in completing my picture that I painted for you earlier, that should still be on the canvas of your mind. If the seed of our prophesied nation is to grow and develop, then each essential element responsible for that growth must perform its divinely gifted part in contributing to this glorious growth. If you are gifted in providing the earthly nutrients like the soil, play your part. If you are gifted with the ability to condense and bring forth rain as a reflecting voluminous cloud, then perform your part. But ultimately, let the life-giving radiance of the sun, S-U-N, and S-O-N, shine through upon the earth to complete the growth of our budding nation. We should not allow a bright, voluminous cloud to block out and almost devour the radiance of the sun, S-O-N, thus coming between us and the light of truth. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad warned us about this blocking. In this wise, there in the Theology of Time chapter dated 10/15/72, he states, I have heard some of you so-called believers putting your place in somebody else's place and making yourself somebody else. What you are making is other than the truth. Unquote. This placement has created a radiant cloud that has appealed to the eyes of our people, blocking out the sun, S-O-N, that is the light of truth. The question remains, will this cloud humbly condense and vanish in unity and coordination with the other life elements so that our spiritual and political growth will rise up and eventually establish itself as a nation on a piece of this earth we can call our own? My black brothers and sisters in the listening audience, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has again reached out to his Muslim brother, Minister Farrakhan. All I can say in response to that is for you to stay tuned. But our unity is important. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad shared some information with us. He indicated that the nations of the world know that our unity is our salvation. Certainly you can see the wisdom in that. So stay tuned as I depart from you with the Muslim pleading words of peace from myself and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
All right, thank you so much, Brother Minister, for that. That was lovely. I hope that they got something out of that because, as you stated, the letter has gone out. We read the letter here on Message to the Black Man. Matter of fact, both letters that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had sent to Minister Louis Farrakhan, excuse me, and also to President Trump in assisting for reparation and self-determination on the behalf of Afrodescendants, so that,
yes, sir.
So that maybe America's time could be prolonged because she's in divine judgment right now.
Yes, she is,
yes,
brother.
Yes, sir, Brother Minister.
Agreed.
And let me ask you this. I know we got a few minutes left. Now, Brother Minister, let me ask you this question then.
Yes, sir.
Let's suppose they don't want to unite. Then what? I'm talking about black people in general now. Now, when the chastisement of Allah God Himself come down on our people, because if they decide to be complacent and I would say take their chances with Donald Trump and the next president that come in, so then what will happen? Because we did them the 400 years of slavery. It's written in the book. So what?
Well,
go ahead.
According to Scripture or the prophecies, there, the children of Israel or Moses' people are forced out of Egypt, the symbolic Egypt.
Now you mentioned something there.
With the strong hand.
Right. You said forced. Now.
I'm sorry.
You said forced. They would be forced out of Egypt. You said.
Or a strong hand of Pharaoh to force our people out. Yes. I mean, when you look at the conditions of America, the social, political, and economic conditions of America right now, brother, it's not looking good for us. We are already at the bottom of the economic totem pole of America. I mean, it wouldn't take very much for us to find ourselves in conditions where we will be forced to do something. We won't be able to tolerate what I see coming, brother,
yes,
and what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught us about. Right now, America is trying to wage war with all of the strong nations of the world, China, Russia. She's waging war financially through terrorists, which really doesn't make sense to me because those countries don't really need America's business, her economics. I think that they can survive quite well among themselves. So what that will ultimately do, once these countries turn their backs on America, I'm just talking about from the economic standpoint.
Yes, sir.
In trade and what have you. And no, the restriction or no further use of the American dollar. That's going to cause inflation here in America, brother, that's going to make this seem like a hellhole here in this country. I've thought about this matter many times, and it even frightens me what I see coming. But I think the conditions are going to be created such that we're going to have to do something. We're not going to be able to tolerate and live through the conditions that I see coming to America. We're going to have to protect our well-being, secure ourselves. Ultimately, it would be best if we united and leave here, because it's going to be even terrible and awful for white folks.
Yes, sir.
They're complaining now.
Yes, sir. So
about their economic and financial condition.
Yes, sir. So I'm going to have to wrap it up, Brother Minister. I guess my cue to wrap it up and everything. I certainly appreciate you coming on and giving that information, sir. Thank you so much.
Glad to be here, brother.
Yes, sir. And we're calling you again and have you come back on Message to the Black Man and give more good insight to the listening audience and the people in general. So thank you so much, Brother Minister.
Yeah. Well, it's my hope that they understood some portions of what I said. I know a lot of it was pertaining to and directed at Muslims, but we are at the forefront of this, brother.
Yes, sir.
We got to get this house together and start playing with the salvation of our people.
Yes, sir. I agree with you 100% with that. So
yes, sir.
With that being said, I'm going to close out on that, and
all right, brother.
I will be in touch, Brother Minister.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Okay, brothers and sisters, I'm going to wrap this program up. I hope you all really got something out of that talk, because I always love to bring that brother on because he speaks very well. And so we'll see you all next month right here on Message to the Black Man every third Sunday at 10:15 a.m. on WFBR. I'm your host, Brother Shabazz. Brother Minister Shakur will be back with me next month, and we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving and the Indians. So tune in, brothers and sisters. Peace, love, and soul. Assalamu alaikum.